Good evening. I think the MacBook to my left just said it's time for our Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, so we'll go ahead and we'll commence with the meeting. So I'd like to welcome everyone to this meeting of the Village of Skokie Zoning Board of Appeals. The Zoning Board of Appeals is created by the statutes of the state of Illinois and by the ordinances of the Village of Skokie for the purpose of granting proper case relief from the strict terms of our zoning ordinances. The decision of this board to either grant or deny relief will be based upon the evidence presented to it and how that evidence is related to the standards for granting relief. All persons who have an interest in a case, either as a petitioner or as a member of the public, either supporting or opposing the petition, or as an independent witness, will be given a chance to speak on the record and to express his or her points of view. The Zoning Board of Appeals is not a court of law, and therefore, we do not follow the strict rules of evidence. However, this hearing will be conducted in such a manner as to hear only competent evidence or statements. Questions as to procedure, interpretation, and of the admissibility of statements or evidence will be ruled upon by Corporation Counsel Tyler Kabilski, and his legal decisions will be binding upon this board. Certain cases require a covenant running with the land. This will be prepared and recorded by the Village of Skokie Legal Department, and this is done at the petitioner's expense. Whether or not a covenant is required is a determination to be made by the Corporation Counsel at the conclusion of each individual case. If a covenant running with the land is required, it cannot or will not be prepared until our court reporter has returned to the Zoning Board of Appeals a transcript of these proceedings. The Village of Skokie will notify each petitioner when the covenant has been prepared and is ready for signature. No building permits can be applied for or issued until the covenant is signed by the petitioner. Should a petition for a variation be denied, or should a covenant not be required, the Board of Trustees will authorize a refund of any required fees. Should it be necessary for the petitioner to request a continuance due to lack of preparation, a case continuation fee of 1/2 of the original application fee is due prior to the rehearing date. This request must be made before any testimony begins. All petitioners must receive a vote of the majority of the zoning board present in order to decide any matter under consideration. Our full complement is 9 members, and tonight's complement is 9 members, making 5 votes necessary to make a determination on a petition. Okay. All right, tonight we have 2 cases, 2019-04Z, 9323 Central Park Avenue, and 2019-05Z, 7635 Kenton Avenue. And in both these cases, I will ask Corporation Counsel, has proper notice been served and notarized?
Notice is proper and correct.
All right, great, thank you very much. All right, in our packet, we have the minutes from the previous meeting that we had on June 5th. And that covered the cases 2019-02Z, 9502 Lawndale Avenue, and 2019-03Z, 4339 Dempster Street. In both cases where the variants were approved unanimously. If everybody's had a chance to look over the minutes and they're comfortable with them, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as is.
So
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, well, ladies first. So, Commissioner Jacobson, we'll let you have the second then.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, voice vote, please.
Aye?
Yes.
Okay, anybody opposed? No? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Marlene. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead then, and we'll go ahead and get right into our first case of the evening. I'll go ahead and do this. I know there's only 3 of you, but could you all please rise? We do this now en masse rather than doing that at the beginning of each individual case. If you raise your hand, do you affirm that the testimony you are about to give is true and correct to the best of your knowledge or belief? Please answer in the affirmative.
Yes.
Okay, I heard all 3 of you to answer in the affirmative, so thank you. Sir, you can sit down. And meanwhile, the people who are the petitioners for 2019-04Z, 9323 Central Park Avenue, are making their way to the podium. Commissioner Arden is presenting your case tonight. So Sean has the floor. Go ahead, Sean.
Great. Thank you, Brian.
Case 2019-4Z, 9323 Central Park Avenue. Michael and Joan Cole request a variation in order to construct an addition which increases the number of bedrooms on site, resulting in the continuation of one motor vehicle off-street parking space rather than the two minimum as required by sections 118-2012 and 118-2181 of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in an R1 single-family district. I will now read the petitioner's statement. Dear members of the zoning board, the petitioner's statement is in support of our request for a variance to the second off-street parking space required when an addition increases the number of bedrooms on site zoning requirement. We understand and respect the existing rules set forth by the Village of Skokie. Our request is not based on appearance or aesthetic reasons, but rather the relevant items outlined below that create a hardship and practical difficulty created by the enforcement of the applicable zoning requirement based on our lot and placement of existing home and driveway. We request the board to consider our request for a minor parking variation. The limitation of the use of the property is due to physical, topographical, and geologic features. There is not an alley at the rear of the property to add a parking space. The placement of the parking pad on the north side of the property requires the removal of a mature crab apple tree. The tree provides much-needed drainage in which a new replacement seedling located in a different spot would not accomplish. The addition of a new parking pad also increases the amount of impervious surface on the existing lot, which in turn also decreases necessary drainage on our property. Without a variance, we would be unreasonably restricted from adding a single bedroom to our family's home. The purpose of the zoning request is to minimize the amount of change and impact our home addition will have on our lot. Our request is not based on economic reasons, but rather there is no practical way to accommodate the required off-street parking requirement without removing a mature tree and increasing the square footage of impervious surface on the lot. In addition, we are committed to the tree preservation ordinance, which the Village of Skokie adopted in 2003 to protect the neighborhood quality environment. The current garage is attached to the home and directly accessible to the kitchen. The only other unreasonable alternative would be to expand the garage into the home, which would replace our dining room with parking. As the property owners, we did not create the necessity for the hardship, as the existing lot was originally platted as such with the placement of existing home and driveway by the original builders. Our request is minimum variance necessary to allow reasonable use of the property. We as a single family control the parking on site. Please see the attached photos for which show the two cars parked on site on the existing driveway. There is ample room for a third car to park on the driveway, and an additional vehicle is also able to utilize the garage. Our request will not be injurious to the public health, safety, or welfare. Neighboring properties utilize their driveway for vehicle parking in the same manner as we currently do, and it maintains the existing character of our neighborhood. Our property possesses several unique characteristics generally not applicable to similarly situated properties, as we do not have access to a back alley and our existing driveway does not extend to the back, which would lead to a new parking space. We wish to maintain the current front and side setback conditions on our lot. Any other plan changes those existing conditions and creates a hardship and practical difficulty to meet the current zoning requirement. Thank you for your consideration of our request. Staff analysis, forestry is in favor, community development is no objection, and staff recommends the approval of the petitioner's request.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Arden. Good evening.
Good evening.
May we have your names and spell them for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Nicholas Fatikas, F-T-I-K-A-S. I'm actually the attorney representing Jill and Mike Core on the application.
Okay, sir?
Yes, Michael Core, last name C-O-R-R.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, who would like to begin and tell us why we're here tonight?
So I could maybe start. Again, my name is Nick Fatikas. The Cores are proposing a rear addition to their existing single-family home. Part of the addition contemplates another bedroom, and that additional bedroom triggers a need for parking. As was discussed, or as was summarized, the site today has a 3-car length driveway as well as a garage. And the only other way to incorporate a new code compliant space is to locate a surface parking space to the north side of the garage. And we have, I think that probably,
So the tree is located right there. And then this would go all the way and butt up against the property line, and the other next door neighbor's house is very close to that property line as well. So it would replace for her a tree, a garden, and grass outer window with a concrete slab, which is another reason why she would be in support of the variance.
Right, and we did make it a point to review our plans with Ms. Maloney, the property owner to the north, and she actually provided us a letter today, if I can submit that, just as additional information for the file, a letter of support from that neighbor for the proposed variation. Sure. Thank you.
Corporation Counsel like to read this letter into the record?
Sure, I'll do that. I will allow it into the record. It says, Dear Skokie Zoning Board of Appeals, I, Bridget Maloney, have reviewed the project plans for the core home addition. I am the owner and resident of the property directly to the north of the subject property. I have no objections to the proposed variation and prefer the variation to the as-of-right design. Please feel free to contact me with any questions. Sincerely, Bridget Maloney.
Okay, and what was the address on that?
9329 Central Park Avenue.
Okay, and you said that's the neighbor directly to the north of
The
you?
immediate to the north, correct.
Okay, great. Okay. So always nice to see neighbors do something supportive, in reference to a petitioner's case, so, good.
Oh.
Okay, anything else you'd
So
like to?
that really summarizes the scope of the project. Again, it's a rear home addition. It triggers a new parking requirement. We believe that the parking provided on-site, 3 parking spaces in the driveway, plus the parking space in the garage would exceed, although it's tandem, would exceed the number of required parking spaces. And for that reason, we are asking for a variation.
Sure, certainly. Okay, thank you. At this time, we'll let Commissioner Arden give us his impressions upon your case.
I visited the site. I think this would be great. I saw no hardship that would cause any negative effects of allowing this to happen. There's plenty of parking on the street as well, in addition to in their driveway and in the garage. So I think, there's no issue here.
Okay. Any other questions for the petitioners, or? Boy, all I hear is crickets chirping. I do have one question. I'm looking at the overhead schematic. Is there parking on both sides of the street on Central Park there? Just out of curiosity?
No, just on the west side of the street.
Just on the west
park
side. Okay. And even from there, you can see that, there doesn't seem to be a lot of congestion as far as that's concerned.
Just during baseball games. That's
Yeah,
about
just
it.
during
It's
baseball
very
games.
spacious. There's a lot of parking on that side
Okay.
when I went out to look at it.
Yeah, right. Commissioner Gersner is showing me how, it's basically a photo that's supportive of your request, so. Anything else you'd like to finish up with, or?
Nothing. We're, again, available for questions if you have any.
Right. Well, I don't think there's any questions forthcoming, so if not, then the chair will go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I propose the following findings of fact in the granting of a variation to the petitioner as follows: that Michael and Joe Core are the owners of the lot described in case number 2019-4Z for the property located at 9323 Central Park Avenue, Skokie, Cook County, Illinois. That said lot is a plotted lot of record and is abutted by single-family dwellings in the north and south. The determination is made in which the petitioner's request is consistent with the majority of the findings of fact as stated in the Village of Skokie's zoning chapter. I therefore propose the following variance be granted to the petitioner for giving failure to comply with the requirements of the zoning ordinance. The Village of Skokie has amended to off-street parking requirements. The petitioner be granted the variance in order to construct an addition which increases the number of bedrooms on site, resulting in the continuation of 1 motor vehicle off-street parking space rather than the 2 minimum as required by sections 118-2012 and 118-2181 of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in R1 Single Family District. That all other codes and ordinances of the Village of Skokie shall be fully and strictly complied with.
Okay, I have a motion to approve without conditions.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Kirkpatrick. So the chair will go ahead and entertain, will call the roll. Commissioner Perlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner Gersner.
Aye.
Let's see, Commissioner Jacobson,
Aye.
Commissioner Kirkpatrick,
Aye.
Commissioner Arden.
Yes.
And Commissioner Solovey.
Aye.
And the chair will vote aye. So in the case of 2019-04Z, The request for variation has been unanimously approved,
Thank you.
so.
Thank you.
But from here on out, Corporation Counsel will tell you what you need to know.
We'll prepare the covenant running with the land. That should be ready in about 2 to 3 weeks, and when it's ready, we'll contact the attorney and let him know it's ready for the client's signature.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank
All
you
right,
again.
good luck
Thank
with
you.
your project.
Happy 4th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, happy
Yeah.
4th of July to you, too. Thank you.
Come to the parade.
Yeah, come to the parade. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not proud.
Well,
Come to my parade.
as well you should be. You work hard at it. Okay. All right, okay, that's case number 1. So we'll go ahead and we'll proceed into our second case for the evening, 2019-05Z, 7635 Kenton Avenue. If the petitioner would please come forward to the podium. Commissioner Beverly is presenting your case tonight, and Jessica, go ahead, the floor is yours.
Thanks. Case 2019-05Z, 7635 Kenton Avenue. Evan and Veronica Perry request a variation in order to construct a second-floor addition resulting in the continuation of a 3.8-foot north side yard rather than the 4-foot minimum as required by Section 118-1126B of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in an R2 single-family district. The petitioner's statement sets forth, to whom it may concern, the Skokie Zoning Department, I am requesting a zoning variance for an addition on my home at 7635 North Kenton in Skokie. I would like to dormer out the attic space above my garage and would like to follow the footprint of the first floor below. I have been informed that I am approximately 4 inches shy of the current zoning requirements from the lot line and that the first floor has been grandfathered in. I would like to be able to keep the same vertical line exterior wall as not to affect the appearance and also not to have a 4-inch lip that could potentially allow water to sit on the ledge and infiltrate the home. I have put a lot of time and effort into making this a home for my family to live in for the foreseeable future, and I am asking that you grant this variance to provide an aesthetically pleasing home for the neighborhood and also a well-functioning home for my family. Sincerely, Evan Perry. Okay. So the petitioner is requesting a variation to construct the second floor right on top of the existing garage. Staff comment and review were submitted to all pertinent departments. The Forestry Division, Fire Department, and Community Development Department were the only departments to comment. Forestry had no objections, Fire Department had no objections, and Community Development had no objections. The Community Development Department noted the building was originally constructed with a 3.8-foot north side yard rather than the required 4-foot minimum. It appears to be an oversight from the original construction in 1954.
Okay. Okay, 1954.
Almost as old as I am.
Yeah, well, let's not go there. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
May we have your name and spell it for the record, please?
My name is Evan Perry,
Okay.
spelled E-V-A-N-P-E-R-R-Y.
Can we give you a bottle of water or anything?
Unfortunately, I talk a lot for a living, so I
Oh,
get
okay.
a worse voice. Plus,
Okay.
I have 2 young children, so.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to make you talk a little bit
That's
more
okay.
tonight in
That's
order
okay.
to hear what you have to say. Would you like to please present your case and tell us why we're here tonight?
Yeah, as mentioned, we are trying to extend our, a usable space over our existing garage. And one of the things we ran into as the problem is obviously the 4 inches difference from when the house was built and what the zoning is now. Really, it was presented there. We're trying to make it so that aesthetically, the line, the exterior of the home goes straight up instead of having this kind of awkward 4-inch setback. Not just from an aesthetic standpoint, as mentioned, it could potentially create some water infiltration issues over a period of time. And we're trying to obviously avoid that, especially putting as much money as that we would be putting into this addition. That's really it. It's a pretty, I don't think it's pretty simple. It's whether I'm allowed to do it or not.
Right, understood. Commissioner Beverly, would you like to give us your impressions on the case?
I think he's exactly right. Pushing it in 4 inches would create more problems than it solves, and carrying the existing wall seems like a better idea.
Yeah, it's a load-bearing wall and everything else, and we're talking about like that.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Any questions for the petitioner at all? Crickets chirping again. And obviously, there's nobody else here in the audience that opposes your petition or so.
Yeah.
And you've given proper notice. so-
100%.
Yeah, great. If there's no other questions for the petitioner, if you have nothing else to say,
I don't.
okay, then the chair will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I propose the following in granting of a variance to the petitioner as follows, that Evan and Veronica Perry are the owners of the lot described in case number 2019-05Z for the property located at 7635 Kenton Avenue, Skokie, Cook County, Illinois. That said lot is a platted lot of record and is abutted by other single-family residences and a public alley. That a determination has been made in which the petitioner's request is consistent with a majority of the findings of fact as stated in the Village of Skokie's zoning chapter. I therefore propose that a variance be granted to the petitioner for giving failure to comply with the requirements of the zoning ordinance of the Village of Skokie as amended as to a 4-foot minimum side yard. That the petitioner be granted the variance to construct a second-floor addition resulting in the continuation of the existing 3.8 foot, north side yard. That all other codes and ordinances of the Village of Skokie shall be fully and strictly complied with.
Okay, so I have a motion to approve without conditions. Do I hear a s-
Second.
Yeah, Commissioner Perlin has the second. Okay, very good. Okay, motion to approve without conditions. Chair will call the roll. Commissioner Salvi.
Aye.
Commissioner Arden.
Aye.
Commissioner Kirkpatrick.
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson.
Aye.
Commissioner Gersner.
Aye.
Commissioner Beverly.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw.
Yes.
Commissioner Perlin.
Yes.
And the chair will vote aye. Okay, so on the matter of 2019-05Z, the motion to approve the variation has been approved unanimously. So,
Thank you.
good luck.
I appreciate it. Happy 4th of July.
Wait, hold on, don't go away yet. Corporation
Oh,
Counsel will
that's right.
tell you what you need to know from here on out.
It'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks, we'll have the covenant ready for your signature, and then you can get the building permits and start working.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Sounds
we don't want to forget those.
No.
Okay, all right,
Thank
very
you all.
good. Okay, happy 4th of July to you, sir. Okay. All right. Okay, that is it. Let's see. Okay, our next meeting will be Wednesday, July 17th, and we will have one case, 2019-06Z, 4001 Davis Street. Do we know who's presenting that case? Who's? Okay, well, it's alphabetical order, so who's after Jessica here? Let's see. I think you are. Well, the parade will be over with by then, so that'll be okay, right?
It better be over.
Right, here, that is a really long parade.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, all right, so 2019-06Z will be on Wednesday, July 17th. Anything else? And if not, I'd just like to say, please come to the parade tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 12 noon. Do you know?
Go ahead, you can plug your parade. Go ahead,
So-
please.
We've got the national anthem singer this year is Wayne Messmer. So if you don't know who Wayne Messmer is, look him up. He's the voice of the national anthem. And our Grand Marshal is Dave Ennett from WGN Radio. He's the sports director. He's also the voice of the Northwestern Wildcats. We've got Jesse White's back. We've got a band that's coming from the East Coast that's an award-winning drum and bugle corps. We're very excited to have them. We have the Colt Cadets that are back from last year, which everybody loved, and we have the Chicago Police Pipe Band. So come one, come all. And Roger Battage is our Master of Ceremonies at the reviewing stand. And I've got, this year, we're being videoed, and I've got a drone that will be flying over the parade videoing also. And we're going to try to do some live Facebook also. So,
We would expect nothing less from a technical standpoint from the guy who's a co-manager of the Apple Store.
oh yeah, listen.
Oh,
I spare no expense as long as I stay in my budget. So.
So Mother Nature looks like she's going to be
She looks
cooperative.
good, yeah. She
Good.
doesn't look like any rain until later in the afternoon, early evening.
Right.
So, and it looks like the fireworks are okay because it's in between the time of when the fireworks start and after the parade ends, so.
Good, good.
I ordered that, so.
Special order. Well, very good. Well, we all wish you the best of luck tomorrow on the parade.
Thank you. We'll
And,
see you there.
Yeah, you'll see me there. Yes, I'm there every year.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see a lot of other people that are sitting at the dais here, there tomorrow.
And Richard
as well.
and Linda are driving me in their
Right.
convertible,
Which just got detailed today.
so it's gonna look great.
Yep.
Because you're gonna be on a video.
So I should comb my hair.
Yes, definitely.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now that Commissioner Gersner has plugged his 4th of July parade, which we're all excited to see the outcome of tomorrow, let's all get a good night's sleep and, yeah, I know you got more work to do. Anyway, so this meeting of Village of Skokie Zoning Board of Appeals is adjourned. Thank you.